Hi, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about the stuff that actually matters and not just the riff-raff of social media frenzy healing terms, but we actually get into topics and subjects that can actually influence the way that we feel about ourselves, can actually influence the entire, trajectory of our lives. And I'm actually very, very excited today for today's video because today I want to talk to you guys about one tool that has single handedly worked in my favor, has single handedly helped me uncover so much that I don't think anything else would have been able to do what this tool has done for me. And I am talking about nothing but therapy. I'm talking about therapy. I know that nowadays it's become really cool to sort of, seek therapy or talk about therapy. But as much as we see on social media that people are talking about mental health or people are considering therapy, the reality is very different because there is still a lot of resistance to how people actually feel about therapy and how many people actually end up going for therapy. There's a lot of people who know about it and talk about it, or kind of say things like they are very accepting of people's mental health challenges and stuff like that, but there are very very few people who actually end up going for therapy, who actually end up working on themselves long enough for therapy to actually work. Because most of the people, what they do is that they go for one session or two session or three sessions, or they only go when they're stuck with the major crisis. They only go when they're stuck with the major crisis. Either you're dealing with some major life transition, there has been a breakup, or there has been loss of your job, or you tried your passion project, it didn't work out, maybe you've changed cities, or or it is definitely anxiety, or it's depression, or it's bipolar, or you suspect something, that you suspect that something is not quite right, and that is why you want to go and you want to figure out what exactly it is. So basically it could be any of these reasons. But what happens in most cases is that when there is this overwhelming feeling, then a person goes for therapy. But very few people actually understand that for it to actually work and show results in your life, you have to stay with the process. It is not some miraculous thing that is going to instantly give you a result. Every session is not going to give you a result, right? And a lot of it is also dependent on who you are working with. Because specifically in India, you will see there's a lot of different kinds of therapeutic approaches. Actually, not just in India but even globally, there are a lot of different sorts of therapeutic approaches. And a lot of people, like you see, even schools and colleges these days have in-house counselors, right? They also have these in-house counselors, that if someone is struggling with their coursework, or they're facing some social issues related to being social with other people, or any of those challenges, they can go and they can talk to the counselor. But what we need to understand is that those counselors are trained in talk therapy, which is most of our everyday challenges. They can help you solve those everyday challenges, right? But a lot of those people are not trained in psychotherapy, which is something that which is basically a trained therapist who can actually hold space for you when you are going through these very difficult states, and you need to actually uncover what is happening with you and understand it at a deeper level, right? So I think when I talk about my journey, one of the biggest things that I think I have learned is that it's very important who you are working with, the therapist that you're working with, the kind of person they are, and the kind of energy that they bring to the therapy room is very important, because not every person can be aligned with you. You might go to a lot of therapists and feel that you're not feeling that sync, feeling that feeling of that that absolute comfort where you can actually get to a point where you improve. So I think that has been my biggest learning. So I started therapy in 2020 during COVID, and one of my school friends, she told me of someone that she knew, And I really worked with her, and I think she was a very, very caring woman who was always, sort of there, always a call away. And during the, that point, it was more of me wanting to work on my anxiety, because I did recognize that I felt more anxiety than other people on a day-to-day basis, and that had always been the case. But I think I finally reached a point where things slowed down enough for me to want to, take therapy and kind of consider just doing it without, kind of running away from that idea, or telling myself that I'm too busy for it. I can't take out that time for therapy, or I don't have the money for it, because usually that's the dialogue that had always, kept me away from it, or had always, kept me in a place where I went for 1 or 2 sessions whenever I would feel a lot of anxiety, and then I would just stop after 1 or 2 sessions, because I would tell myself that, that's not really going to help. That is what I always told myself. But once I started going for these sessions, it was like, obviously, we did talk a lot about anxiety, talk about a lot of the, current life situation that I was dealing with, whether it was to do with my career, or whether it was to do with any sort of, relationship challenges. So there was a lot of these kind of conversations that, that came up, and also a lot about childhood. But so, given that phase, I definitely benefited from it. I could see that I could manage my anxiety a lot better. She taught me a lot of different techniques, including, a lot of breathing techniques, a lot of other, kind of meditations that I could do, a lot of other ways to, kind of manage my anxiety. So I think a lot of the things that she taught me, of course, I would try to do from time to time. Whereas, I couldn't always do it. In fact, a lot of times I wouldn't be able to do it. But I think just the idea of knowing that if I ever felt that way, I had someone, that I had someone to talk to. I think that in itself made me feel a lot more supported than I would have felt had I not had her. Like, it just made me feel a lot more held and supported. And it made me feel that, things could probably change for me, that I could see, that I could probably, see myself at least handling that anxiety better. And it's like, how do I explain it? It's not always so straightforward and so linear, because what happens in therapy is that you are the one talking as the client, so you are explaining what is happening with you, and a lot of times you'll notice that you go into these different directions, because the human mind is so complex, and there are so many different directions and so many tabs in our brain, which are always open. Like, we always have thoughts going on. We always have some or the other emotion that is going on. And when you get a space where someone is giving you their complete attention and is listening to you, obviously a lot of things come up. A lot of things come up. And so many times you'll feel that you'll catch yourself and you'll feel that, why am I even talking about this topic? Or you will catch yourself in the middle of the session feeling that this is not going anywhere. Because most of the times you'll be speaking for 50 minutes and the therapist will be speaking only for 10 minutes at the end of the session, when they finally conclude the session. And you will feel, sometimes you're so overwhelmed that you also feel that, okay, why should I even be talking and explaining what is happening? Why can't she just pick on it? That is also the expectation you subconsciously will have, that why can't she just, pick on it and just understand what I'm going through, without me having to do this labor of constantly, explaining and kind of making sense of my own problems and putting it in a way that the therapist understands, right? But a lot of times what happens is that the therapist, she will interrupt you. If there is something that she wants you to go deeper into, she will interrupt you. And if she senses that you're probably avoiding the real issue and talking about something else other than the real issue, then also the therapist will, kind of tell you to come back to the real issue, or will point out that there is something else beneath what you are actually, there's what you're talking about, and what's actually affecting you is actually different, right? So, but then again, even if you understand these things, a lot of the sessions are not going to give you some sort of an immediate result. It really takes a lot of patience, because psychology as a discipline and therapy in itself is not something that is operating with only the objective discipline, right? Obviously there are so many objective rules about therapy regarding confidentiality or the different therapeutic approaches, but at the end of the day, in psychology and in therapy, every person is so unique. They are bringing their very unique life situations, their very unique childhood, their very unique approach to relationships, friendships. So every life situation and every person's way of looking at it, their perspective, their emotions, they are all so different. They are all so different that it's not A plus B plus C plus D is equal to something, right? It is not 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. There are a lot of different threads which open up in therapy. And even for the therapist, despite obviously their training, they also need the time and the space to actually uncover the real mess that you are facing. They cannot immediately in 2 or 3 sessions or even in 5 6 sessions happen to just uncover what it is that you are experiencing, right? Like you must have heard that even with depression, even with anxiety, it takes a while for the patient also to understand what kind of therapist that they can work with, what kind of a frequency are they okay with. Do you want to talk to them once a week or twice a week, or do they want to just talk maybe once a month, or only when they are feeling extremely overwhelmed, which could be, I don't know, once in 2 months or once in 6 months, because every patient, I mean, every client has very different requirement, and same way every therapist also is not going to be always available for you. Though a lot of them try to respond as much as they can, but they also have many other clients. So it takes a while for the entire therapist client relationship also to function, to form its own rhythm. But I think why I wanted to make this video is because after I worked with that therapist for around, I worked, I think, regularly for around 2 years. And after that, it was always on and off whenever I felt that I needed to talk to someone. But other than that, I think recently, at least in the last 6 7 months, I decided to change my therapist, and I found someone who uses the psychodynamic or the analytical approach. I think that's what it's called. So it's basically a lot more about doing deeper work, like figuring out the unconscious patterns that often are behind what we are just saying, right? So it's like your unconscious patterns, your unconscious emotions. It's a lot even about understanding your dreams, your the way your subconscious is sort of influencing you. And it definitely goes a lot into um different threads, right? Like it holds a lot of space for a person who is probably going through transitions, or who is going through a time where they are kind of trying to make sense of things in the past and move towards the future. So I think for me, what I observed is that, see, one of the biggest things which I feel is that not everybody wants to go for therapy, right? Because a lot of people are looking for a solution. They are looking for a quick fix, or they're looking for something to, like I said, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. They're looking for that. But therapy in itself ends up, it's a tool. It's basically a space where you're not facing any kind of a judgment. You don't have to put on the mask that you usually put on in front of everybody else, and you can actually bring your authentic self to that space. And it could actually help a lot, just as a tool of self understanding, honestly. Like more than, I think, solutions, and more than when you understand, right? When you just understand your own becoming, when you understand how you got to the point that you got to, why you have certain patterns, why is it that you keep, I don't know, everyone has different patterns. Why is it that you keep lying to people constantly? Maybe you're doing it because you're scared of losing them. You're scared that you'll not be able to keep your friends. if you don't lie? Why is it that you're constantly postponing pursuing your dreams, or like, chasing after what you really want? And maybe, you were doing that because you somewhere don't believe that you deserve those things. Or maybe in the past you tried and you did something and it failed and it has scarred you. Or maybe you have heard constantly a lot of stories around you in your own household. There is no there is nobody who is like that. Everybody is very fearful, everybody is very scared, everybody wants to be safe, and that is something that you've picked on. You would never really know that, because a lot of our wiring, the way we think and the way we see the world, the way we operate, is happening beneath our own consciousness. It is happening because of the behaviors we've seen around ourselves. It is happening because of probably, a lot of things that happen to us in our childhood or even later on. And sometimes it's simply that, we start doing something, it starts working for us. Like if you start lying to your friends, maybe it starts working for you, maybe they actually, like you more because of it. And you're able to make friends quicker, you're able to make them like you more than the other people. And you are able to be that star in the group, right? And it starts working for you, and then you never see a reason to change it because it is working for you, right? But maybe there's a part of you which is not comfortable with that. There is a part of you that does want to change it, but because you have been doing it for so long, you've never, gone to the level of self inquiry where you are okay changing it, or where you are okay even knowing why you are doing it. And if you don't even know why you're doing it, how are you going to change it? How are you going to change it? Like everybody keeps saying, okay, just change it. If you don't like something, then change it. But if you don't even understand what it is that you're doing and why you are doing that particular behavior, how will you change it? How will you change it? Like, and anything, like anything in our lives, once it is brought to light, once it is brought into a space where we are able to openly say it, where we are able to confront it without hiding from it, that in itself does such a big service, such a big service to ourselves. It is such a big service that, we consider ourselves worthy enough to work on ourselves. We consider ourselves worthy enough to have the patience to go and talk to a therapist about what we are really feeling. We have that commitment towards ourselves, and not everyone has that. A lot of people who are actually going to therapy are very committed to their own becoming. They want to change, they want to get better, they want to live their life to the fullest. And which is why, to live life to the fullest, they understand the importance of this process, right? Because so many of us, we are just operating on autopilot. We are operating on autopilot. We have certain jobs, we have certain tasks, or maybe, we are married and we have this partner. We have fallen into a routine. We are living on autopilot. And it is not that routines are wrong, right? Or living on autopilot or having a fixed routine basically is wrong. That's not wrong. But a lot of us are in that mode, in that situation, because of our own fear, because we need certain things. We believe that we need a certain safety, we need a certain predictability, we need that cage to bind us, so that we never ever even question why we are the way we are. We never even explore beyond that cage. What is outside this cage? We don't want to explore our own fears, we don't want to explore our own desires, right? All of it is in the unconscious, all of it is in the shadow. We don't want it to come to light because we ourselves have not gone deep enough, right? We haven't gone deep enough, and we keep saying words like healing and all, but we would prefer, putting a nice space bag, having a off Sunday, watching a movie, going to a concert, even going out on a date, or even going in just, I don't know, sleeping with someone. We would prefer that over doing this work, because this work doesn't make direct sense. This work is not 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. It will take you in directions you don't want to go into. Maybe a lot of things you believe are connected to your childhood are not connected to your childhood. Maybe they are simply a manifestation of your particular personality, your particular patterns, and it's not at all connected to what you thought it's connected to. A lot of us also do this thing of that we assume that we already know what's going to happen in therapy, or that we have this arrogance where we feel that no, it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for me. But it's not coming from you having tried it. And see, honestly, my intention is not to push you towards that. Like I keep saying that a lot of people are not gravitated to therapy, right? But if you are someone who really wants to live life and is someone who cares a lot about, about self growth, who wants to get to the next level in life, who is an entrepreneur or who is doing something of their own, who's wanting to, break out of their current reality, then therapy becomes a non-negotiable for you. Honestly, it becomes a non-negotiable. It is much more helpful than you taking, I don't know, following some marketing strategy, or kind of taking classes and how kind of taking all these other courses in entrepreneurship or in business, in business marketing and things like that. Because therapy, what it does is that if you are committed and again patient, and you find the right therapist, and you are honest honest to the process and honest to the person, then definitely you will feel results. You will feel yourself going at the things that you were afraid to go to, right? Like for me, for example, I have always been a very, very creative person. I've had that side to myself, but at the same time I've always also wanted to have my conventional degrees and jobs and all of that, and I've had that. But there have also been points where I took the risk of going the unconventional path, going the unconventional path fully, but that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted it to work out. And I think the way it impacted my brain, it was something that that led me to a space, like paradoxically, it led me to a space where I could really examine what was going on, right? What was going on, I could really examine that, because the desire to be creative, the desire to sort of talk and help people, and pursue something creative, came from a very authentic place of me. It came from a very, very authentic place inside of me. But at the same time, when you have the other fears, when you're not accepting yourself, like for me, right now, to talk to you guys like this, it definitely comes with encountering your fear of being seen, right? I've always had so many ideas and so much to talk about, and I've always, but to see the worth in that, and to be completely okay being seen imperfectly, or being seen in a way that that you are so openly seen, that people are going to judge you, right? Being seen means that people will have their own judgments, and people are going to be brutal about those judgments, because they can, simply because they can, and you are agreeing to being seen. But that is people's biggest fears. One of the biggest fears in the world is basically standing up on the stage, which is literally, I think, equal to the fear of being dying. That's what I've read. It's equal to the fear of being dying. That's how scared people are of being seen. So, so these things, we always think that these things are going to work on if we learn some strategy, public speaking, or being on the camera, or doing this or doing that. But no, we are ruled by within ourselves. We are ruled by what we feel within ourselves. And that is the primary determining factor as to whether you'll actually do that thing or not, or you only be talking about it for the rest of your life, or you only be thinking about it for the rest of your life. And I'm not even, promoting therapy right now as a way of achieving goals, or as a way of finding a tool that's going to get you to where you want to be in life. It's honestly way, way deeper than that. Because I think once you start talking to your own self, once you get into this whole process, you understand that it's not so difficult to change. And it influences every aspect of yourself, of your life, simply because you're paying attention. And I'm not even saying therapy is everything, it's everything else also. Your working out, your journaling, your ability to give yourself new experiences in life, right? To not stay stuck exactly where you are, and to not believe that you're more stuck than you actually are. Because a lot of us, we believe that we are way more stuck than we actually are. And oftentimes it turns out to be not true. So many times it turns out to be not true. We are not actually so stuck as we believe as we are, as much as we believe that we are. We do have certain freedoms and agency even in the worst situation, but we are so afraid of admitting it, because we would rather stay in the same place by telling ourselves that we don't have that option, that we don't have, we don't have agency, we don't have choice. So I think, considering the world that we live in, considering the kind of problems that we face, and all of us do, in our relationships and with, there's so much competition out there, right? The job market is tough, the economy is tough, there's so much other forms of conflict globally, and we are living in really, really tough times. And I feel that one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself, if you are someone who wants to, um, you know, improve and change and probably even accept yourself, and just start having conversation with yourself, start understanding yourself, I feel you should definitely consider therapy, definitely consider giving yourself a space where you can be authentic, where you're not stressed about other people's judgments, where you can bring all the things you consider bad about yourself, all the things you consider to be flaws, all those demonic voices in your mind, all of those devilish forces inside of you, all of those things which you believe are unpleasant and unwelcome, all of those emotions, all of those experiences. I really hope that you can bring them into this space. You can bring them uh into this space of therapy, where someone can witness you as you are experiencing those things, where you allow another person to actually witness that. Because all of us, all of us are imperfect, all of us have so many challenges in our lives, and all of us have a lot of baggage, from our childhood, from our past, from romantic relationships, from a lot of different things. And these challenges, they never end, they never end. It is not like you take therapy and your challenges become any easier. To be honest, your challenges still exist, and as you grow more in life, your challenges actually even increase. But what also increases is somewhat your patience with those challenges. You don't panic as easily, and you, somewhere at a deep down level, over time, you also start understanding and learning that you will be able to handle your challenges, even if they seem to be completely, out of your control at that moment. So I think it definitely, gives you that empowerment, gives you that. And so many times, right, when we go through a major transition, we experience a complete loss of agency. It starts feeling that everything is out of our control. And as much as we say that, we should surrender, of course, we have to surrender in such moments. But even in that space, then we are suffering. A part of us does want to know that, that we can still be held, we can still be witnessed, right? And that we still need someone to tell us that. And I'm not saying that you can't survive on your own, or that you can't get out of that phase on your own. You absolutely can. But I'm saying that if you are someone who wants that space, or who wants to fasten the process, who wants to make the process quicker for themselves, then you should definitely consider going for therapy. There are a lot of different platforms. If you just Google it, that you can find a good therapist in your region. There's also a lot of, online therapy. If you can't visit, you don't want to travel, you can just, talk to a therapist online, like over via Zoom or Google Meet. So there's a lot of different platforms, that you can look up to find a good therapist. You can ask your friends, you can ask on your WhatsApp groups, you can kind of get recommendations to ensure that you're going to somebody, through a reference or through a platform that you trust. So I would, definitely say that you go for therapy, you try it out, see what you find for yourself, have the patience, don't get impulsive, and don't quit abruptly. Don't quit abruptly. Have faith. Try to find someone who you align with, and see if their approach works for you. And I would say definitely do not be afraid of it. Do not let any kind of judgment of other people or your own judgment stop you. And don't wait for a crisis like major anxiety or major depression for you to go into therapy. As long as you are interested in self understanding and want to, change, want to facilitate your own journey of growth, your own journey of healing, I think therapy is a fantastic tool that you should look into. I really, really thank you guys for being here and for, listening to me. And really thankful to you guys, honestly, for making it so far and watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I intend to, bring forth very authentic videos which talk about healing, which talk about different topics that can help anyone who is on their healing or self growth journey, someone who's growing, or just anyone who's looking for a self understanding out there on the internet. So, yes, please like, share, and subscribe. Help me reach more people. And I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. I will see you in another video. Take care, guys. Take care of yourselves and always stay stay healthy, stay well, love yourselves because you deserve your love in every situation of life. You deserve your love through all your flaws. And I love you guys.